Welcome to the Linguistics Show, where we talk about life, love, and everything else. There's always something to talk about with this couple, so you never know what may come out of their mouth.
And welcome to another episode of the Linguistics Show. This is Jason and Carol, and we're here talking about friends today. Friendship. Cue the Houdini. Cue the Houdini track. How many of us have them?
Or I can just
Cue the
song.
track.
Okay,
No, don't sing the song. Cue the track.
How many of us have them? Friends. Ones we can depend on.
That's what we're talking about today, y'all. And how important is it to be friends with your spouse? How important is it to establish that you were friends before you got in a relationship? We're going to take a deep dive into that today.
So, you and I met in college, as people may have heard some of the earlier episodes. And one of the things that I love about our relationship is that you and I were friends. And so when I met you, I had no idea that it would take this turn of us, of course, dating and then getting married and having kids. But that's how this life went, and I love it. So do you think that it's really important for people to be friends before they're actually dating, or is it just more like, hey, she got a fat butt, he got a nice beard, let me go get with him? So what do you think about that?
Those are the most corny situations. That's what you think, that we just be thinking in our head that she got a fat butt. So
that's what I won't say all men, but
you're not a man, and the fact that is what you think, that's all we be thinking about is crazy talk.
That's not what I think.
That's crazy talk. But the point is like, to be fair, no, you don't have to be best buds. However, it is beneficial if you are. It does make everything a lot smoother. It makes things better. It gives you a basis of things to talk about and experience and be about other than the relationship, because there will be times, especially early on in a relationship, where stuff might get a little tough, it might get rocky or whatever. And at least if you friends, you have something to talk about other than that. So, I mean, that is a big part of it. And it allows you to share more and have a deeper experience and a deeper bond with your partner than, had y'all just been attracted to each other, so to speak.
Do you think that that men and women can be platonic? Because I say platonic at times, that they can be strictly friends. Yes, like if you're married still, I'm like, can a man or a woman keep their same friendship? I'm not asking like for approval, but do you think it's possible to have that balance?
Well, you asked like 7 different questions in that whole paragraph, so I'm going to unpack all of that. So first and foremost, can men and women be friends, platonic friends? First and foremost, yes, they can be platonic friends. I think it's one of those things where people are people. And so I'm not going to have a song quote right now, as bad as Carol wants me to. I'm not going to have a song quote. What I'm going to say is that people are people, and that, whether they're male or female, you might share common interests. One of my best friends from years ago, that's a female. I haven't talked with her as much because we don't work together anymore. But, yeah, I was there for her when she had her problems with her relationship with her girlfriend and trying to figure out what to do with her daughter, and all we used to do is just talk about sneakers and basketball. Like, we have common interests. So in and of itself, I don't know if that's the right example that you're looking for, but then again, I don't know. That's my whole point, is that, like, I think that instead of saying that, oh, men and women can be friends, you're talking more specifically about men and women that could possibly be attracted to each other. Can they be friends? Is that what you're trying to say? Because, we're talking apples and oranges. And so, so the first part, yes. Can men and women be friends? Yes. The second part, while you're married, could you still be friends with someone else? Answer to that question, I would believe, would also be yes, within reason. As long as you respect the boundaries and everybody's okay with it, and it should be fine.
Okay, that I mean, I know that you had friends from high school and college, and same for me. And I think that it's important for those opposite gender friends to actually be friends with the spouse. So probably saying it in a convoluted way. So for example, if my friend is a guy, I think it's really important for him to be friends with you, and I would think that if it's a woman, if she's a woman, it's important for her to be friends, or well, not really friends, but to at least know who your wife is, or
Right.
the wife is. Do you get what I'm saying?
I understand.
Yeah, so like in the example that you gave a little while ago, that's different because they're in a same-sex coupleship. I don't know their status, if they're married or not. I have no idea, but I know that that's a little bit different than if it was someone who was into
Right, that
men.
might. Well, that's the thing, is that she is.
Okay, I didn't know. Okay,
I mean, that's my homie. Like, we talk
I have
about
no
stuff.
clue.
That's my homie. Like, we talk about stuff. Like, yeah, she's bi. But the point was that, like, she's just another one of the dudes to me. She's just another one of the homies. Like, we talk about sneakers and basketball, and that's basically it.
how do men feel about their wife, like having guy friends, like who they already knew before?
Like an honest to God, real. I mean,
Yes.
that's like, come on, young. Like,
I'm
if you mean like you don't know men, you don't know men.
I
You have
know
such a close relationship with your brother and your father, but you don't know men.
My brother and father, I love. Some men think differently, and I think that maybe people who are our listeners can benefit from a man's point of view and a woman's point of view on this subject of keeping your same friends before you were married, but also knowing when to cut ties with those friends.
Right. When that makes your partner uncomfortable, that's when you need to cut that off.
So then, why do men feel like the only reason that their wife or woman would have a male friend was because they either had sex with them or wanted
Because
to?
men generally don't stay friends with women that they don't have interest in.
Okay.
Generally speaking, straight men aren't friends with straight women that they don't have at least some interest in at some point that they hadn't. Then it's not 100% of the case all the time. I don't know. I guess the real answer to your question is it depends on the situation, because some men are insecure and some aren't. So, some men are in relationships and their women got all kinds of male friends all over the place. They got niggas that they know from school and work and all that kind of stuff, and they not insecure. Some men are insecure and every little thing bothers them. So, I don't know. I mean, I can only speak towards my personal experience. I'm not really insecure, so I don't really feel like much competition from outside sources. I more feel like, it is what it is. You knew that person before me. So what kind of an asshole would I be to be like, no, you can't talk to him anymore?
And I feel the same way, that I would never tell you that you can't be her friend because, I mean, I didn't know you back then. But there are some people, men and women, who definitely want their spouse or partner, whatever, to cut off all opposite sex friends, whether they have met them or not, whether they were met pre-marriage or not. And like, that to me is very selfish, but I know it's realistic. And so are those men the men who are insecure, or are they possessive?
Not just people who are insecure in general. The fact that we keep saying is that men who do this, when truth of the matter is, it's more of a goes both way kind of situation. That's just like insecure people in general have problems with that sort of stuff.
And it is women too, because I mean, I do know of some females who don't want their boyfriends. They're not married, but they don't want their long-term boyfriends to have any of their female friends before they knew each other. And I tell them, like, that's number one, is selfish, and that's not really sensitive, because if your person who you love and are with knew someone before you, like, how can you tell them to cut off all ties? But as you mentioned before, if there are boundaries that are being crossed, then of course definitely you gotta be respectful of your marriage or your of your partner, and then tell them, like, look, you did cross the line, and we can't be friends.
Okay, so then my question then becomes, then why is it that in most relationships women tend to say men can't have any male friends, but women tend to be able to have all the friends they want and can justify that accordingly?
Okay. Do you want me to answer the question that you asked? Because I think
don't even do it.
Because you said male friends, like. And like, you obviously would have male friends because you're
Carol. That's how I know you weren't listening.
I can play it back.
You don't have to play it back. I'll say it again. You weren't listening. Like I said, my question is why is it that females are allowed to have male friends as many and as often as they want, and will be belligerently defensive about that, but men can't have female friends?
Because, okay, so that's not what you asked me. So now I can answer that question.
Okay.
I don't want to play it back, because if I do, I'll
you don't need to play
the wrong
it back.
button.
Just go off, sis. You don't need to play it back.
Not that phrase. That's something that I've never thought about, really.
Because it's a have your cake and eat it too mentality that a lot of women bring. It is a hypocritical mentality. It's a have your cake and eat it too mentality that a lot of women bring towards relationships, that they feel like if y'all giving us the cat, then all bets are off. We got to do whatever the hell you want. And it's like, that's really not fair. Now, you're not that type of person, but I know I've had relationships like that in the past. And I know plenty of people who are in that same relationship right the freak now, where no, you can't talk at, look at, think about, dream about. Matter of fact, if she had a dream that you talked to a girl, she's mad at you. Like, that's. I have had. That's real life. That's real life out here. That's real life out here.
Years ago.
You got mad at me for some shit that didn't ever happen that you thought about.
My dreams be talking to me.
So there you go. That's what really matters. So again, it is a hypocritical have your cake and eat it too type mentality, and I be wondering where that comes from. That this lack of accountability in a relationship at times from either side, it is alarming. But, that's stuff that me and my friends talk about all the time, and I try to encourage them to, do the right thing by their women and try to stick by their relationships and do the right thing. And that's what I hear often is my friends tell me, but she's not accountable to anything. She never makes a single mistake, but every little thing I do wrong is magnified times 100. I'm like, yes, sir. That's kind of what it's like, because women are emotional, men are logical, and we just have to deal with that. That's just part of being with a woman. That comes with the territory. It's okay. It's okay if you're not insecure and you know how to handle it. You know what I mean? If you're, secure in yourself and you're your own man, you can handle that. Some people really can't handle that. I'm not trying to dig up a whole bunch of drama right now, but that is one of the things that me and my guy friends talk about quite a lot, is why is there a lack of accountability? It only goes one way sometimes. The accountability tends to be it's all the man's fault, it's all the man's problem, and that can be disturbing at times. And so, it's funny you bring this subject up, because I do be thinking a lot about my friend and his relationship, and I be rooting for him, and I want his shit to work so bad. I want his shit to work so bad, but it just be like, every time it's just like, bro, you need to sit down and shut up, because what you're asking for is tough. It's tough out here for women. I mean, think about what just has happened in the last week. The world has changed. It's like, if we didn't think that the world was against women, something is wrong out here. Like this, I don't know if I would consider myself a feminist per se.
But you're rooting for women.
I'm rooting for women to do well and to win, and because I'm about equality first and foremost. And so, just the stuff that's happened in this last week in particular is they're just literally waging war on women and that whole agenda. And so that's why stuff like that matters. That accountability matters, because that's something that people can use and say, see, women are this, women are that, instead of saying, you know, the circumstances are what they are. So a lot of times we don't look at the facts. We look at, you know, the sensationalist stories. We look at ways to make it more interesting. We're not really paying attention to the facts, the hard facts themselves. And so, again, I do wish for my friends to do well, but does that matter?
It doesn't matter.
But does that matter when
you're
you're
right.
held to a different standard?
You're right that it should be equal, but going back to your question about maybe like why I mean, I can't even rephrase it the way that you put it out there, but why some women don't want their guys to have female friends, but they can have male friends. So that's kind of what you were putting out there, because women know when other women are checking for their man, but it does go both ways, because some women are plotting. Some women try to get in little nooks and crannies, like when they see an opening, but the man needs to also be strong enough to shut it down. And even if he does shut it down, you're still going to have women who may have been friends, you know, prior to y'all knowing each other, or maybe a new friend who were in there, or who are quote unquote friends for ulterior Well, for the wrong reason, because I don't know if it's UL or AL.
I think it's ulterior.
I don't know. I've never known my whole life.
Alternatives, ulterior.
Oh,
alternatives.
It's not ulterior. Okay. Anyhow, so I learned a new word. Yeah, but basically what I'm saying is that there are some women who know that there are females who are around for the wrong reasons. And like you and I have had that talk before about like, look, you gotta open up your eyes, because some women are sneaky. And the same for men, I'm sure that there may be some men who are around just because they think that they can get an opening, even though no one's gonna say opening. Leave my corny Carolisms alone.
The opening, that's what they're here for, the opening?
Yeah, for the open spot.
For the opening?
Anyhow, not the grand opening. Leave my Carolisms alone.
It's a grand opening?
No, it's not.
It's not grand?
No.
It's like a mediocre opening. What are we talking about here?
What I'm you know what I'm getting at is that
The double entendre.
Spell that. It's
Double?
French. No, entendre.
Entendre?
Yeah, spell it. Oh, and you said it correctly.
Yeah, because I'm the one who paid attention in linguistics class.
We don't talk about language.
Shots fired! I'm the one who paid attention in linguistics. Did we talk about language and linguistics?
No, different languages like French and Latin. Did we talk about that in class?
Oh my God.
I don't remember. Did we?
Now, going back to episode 1.
I don't know.
Now you know who carried the weight in this damn
You've
group
already
project.
said that before. There was you.
She don't even know what we studied, yo.
All I'm saying. Okay, so we're having a sidebar right now. Did we talk about other languages in linguistics besides English?
Linguistics is literally
The study of language. I understand that part.
So
I'm asking, did we talk about other languages?
I can't deal.
I don't know.
Somebody come get this woman. Somebody come get this woman.
It was 22 years ago.
Somebody come get this woman before I kick her off this chair.
I gotta ask Google later.
Carol.
I don't.
Yes, the answer is yes.
Okay.
We studied all different languages.
See, I didn't remember that, or I didn't know that.
You weren't paying attention. So for all the little, you know, you make it seem as though the story is one kind of way, that I'm this distracting person and wasn't trying to be paying attention and wasn't taking shit seriously. I was the one who got an A in that class without even trying.
I got an A too.
Yeah, because I did your work, because you just copied my work.
Dr. Staley was not a hard grader, or
Dr. Staley was cool, and Yoshi
or we
was
did a
super
really
cool.
really good job with our work together, and also
I get A's in language.
too.
I get A's in language arts classes, y'all. Let's just be honest. The only thing I might could struggle with is that super applied statistics, like the extra math. That super math.
That's too much.
That super math is not fun. That shout out to all you other business majors. That applied statistics sucks. Applied statistics is the worst. But outside of that, man, all them language arts classes is easy for me. So you know I got a good grade. Talking about did we study different languages and linguistics? It's literally the study of language, not the study of English. Because if it was the study of English, we'd be in an English class. Golly.
You're still missing
help me.
point.
God help me.
So,
well, how am I missing the point?
Because I know study of language. I get that. It'll be
So you thought we only studied one language?
What I'm saying is that I thought we saw maybe talking about like accents and like dialects.
We didn't talk about no accents or no dialects. We didn't talk about none of that.
Linguistics?
No, we didn't talk about nothing about no daggone dialects. Look, it was about things like how the origin of certain words comes from different languages. So like you have Latin origins, you have French origins, you have Spanish origins. That's what we were talking about, and how to identify these in different words so that when you're trying to learn another language, you already know how to sound this shit out. That's literally what that's what we were doing.
If they could see my face right now, I look so puzzled.
Again. Did not pay attention in the class at all. Again, did not pay attention in class at all. And stay to this day. To this day. Give me the Deontay Wilder sound. To this day.
I don't know who that
to this day. I know because you're not on Black Twitter. Because you're not on Black Twitter. To this day. To this day. She still be acting like I was the one who was goofing off and wasn't a serious student to this day, and you still don't know what linguistics was.
Say that. That's not what I think. You were a good student, but back to the friends, and I'm gonna add what's the word I want to put? It's not a sound effect. Thank you. I'm gonna add a sound effect right there. But I just thought of something that used to bug me and still does. But it's kind of different now that I work at home pretty much. I do not like when people have a work wife or a work husband. Does that bug you, or is it just me? I can't stand that.
It's extra as hell. Now, you know what? To be fair, that is an experience of you cubicle warriors. That's a cubicle. That's that
cubicle nation.
That's a cubicle nation problem.
A pre-COVID cubicle.
That's a cubicle nation problem, because all of us in like our regular 9-to-5s, like some of them do be like that, but honestly, the schedule varies, so you ain't gonna see that person every day. But yeah, from my perspective, I don't like that much either. I kind of find that to be a little weird.
So back in your cubicle nation days, did people do that? But it was a different kind of demographic where you were working as well. So I don't know if that's a black thing or...
It's not a black thing.
Everybody thing?
It's an everybody thing. And yes, I saw that. I definitely saw that when I had office jobs, yes.
I was thinking about that one woman, Barbie. Remember her, Barb?
No.
She was your coworker.
I'm sure.
She was like, she could be your mom, but she was this nice older black lady, Barbie. Okay. I remember her because I met her that one time. Anyhow.
Okay.
When I was working at my, how can I phrase this without being all, talk about where I used to work, but when I was working in a different cubicle job way before the pandemic, there was this one guy, and he was the kind of guy who, and you can add the right phrase because I'm not a man, so maybe I'm saying it wrong. Like when men think that they are ugly or unattractive but are decent, so like what do you call that? Like I don't. I have a very good point, so don't think
I would say 90 to 95% of men think we're unattractive to decent.
Sorry.
90 to 95% of us think we're unattractive. There's only 5% of us, and here's the fucked up part. The 5% of us that think we are attractive, of that 5%, only about half of them really are attractive. The rest of them are just fucking insane. They're just insane, and they have no cut cards and no morals and no shame. Some of us were born with shame. A lot of men deal with that rejection complex bad. So, like, most men think we're unattractive. Most of us think we're ugly as shit. Like, we don't get the.
This ain't no Craig Mack.
We don't.
Ugly as ever.
Look, that was a Biggie line, but I dig it.
Well, Craig Mack was ugly. I'm sorry, y'all.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
Oh my
the
God.
soul. Flavor in the ear. Okay. Anyhow.
Anyway, yes, most of us are like, yeah, we don't be thinking we look good like that. Why the fuck you think we struggle?
You have confidence. So if you know you're attractive, you would have confidence instead of being like, yeah, I'm ugly. I don't look good. Yeah, Carol.
That's really what. Come on, Carol. Stop it with the voice. Stop it with the voice. First of all, stop it with the voice. First of all, second of all, I'm telling you some real spit. Like, this is real. Most guys really don't think we're all that. That's why guys go so far out of their way to like. I said this to you about like 3 weeks ago, and I don't know if you've really registered, but I'm glad it's come up again because it's relevant. It's ironic that women will dress a certain kind of way and do their hair and spend hours on makeup and think about, surgically enhancing their bodies and everything like that, but then get upset when a man objectifies them and wants them just for sex. And the flip side of that is that men be, I gotta have a nice car, I gotta have gold chains, I gotta have a watch, I gotta have a big house, I gotta have a billion sneakers, I gotta have designer clothes and all that shit, but then be mad when a woman wants him for his money. So like I be like, like that's what's wrong with men and women in general. Like we be fronting. We be fronting so often. We don't never really tell each other what we really want until it's too late. It's all this posturing, trying to look cool, trying to be attractive, trying to impress other people instead of just keeping it real. And to the point a couple of minutes ago, that's what is really the issue, and what's missing from that is it's like, you got to keep it real. Again, most of us don't think we're all that. We don't. That's why we got to go get a haircut every 6 days. That's why we got to have 1 million pairs of dope sneakers. That's why it is what it is. Because if not, we'd be wearing pajama pants and hoop shorts every day. If I didn't care about how I looked, I'd wear hoop shorts 24/7, 365 days a year. You would see me in basketball shorts, crew size. You would see me getting ready to go run. Like right now, it'd be like, hey, you about to go ball? Like, what you doing? Yeah, nigga, I'm just hanging out. Like, that would be me every single day if I didn't have to feel like I have to look like something. So, like, that's what I'm trying to say is that, like, I feel like there's a lot of times where we get that whole thing mixed up. Now, maybe it's not 95% of men. Maybe it's 85% of men. But here's the flip side of that. Only 15% of women think they're unattractive. All of y'all think y'all bad as hell. It be some yuck mouth, damn catfish face.
But they have a lot of confidence. Which is good for them, and so I'm happy for them. But I do want to bring it back to the work wife, work husband. For the work wife and the work husband, and then going back to like how some women stay plotting or trying to get an opening. I'm thinking of this one situation in one of my old Cubicle Nation jobs that there was this man that I think I told you about what was going on. It was so long ago, so you may not remember this whole general scenario. But there was this woman who worked on a different floor, who we had a joint project together eventually, we had joint work that overlapped a little bit, but after a while the joint work ended, and they, I guess, had a friendship, or she had a friendship with him, whatever. But he was engaged. He was dating and then got engaged. And so he and I were the same age, but I felt like I was his big sister. And so, my other coworker, who was older than me, was like his mom. So he had a mom and a sister at work. And we would tell him that this woman is coming down, knowing that this whole joint project is over. She doesn't come talk to the I guess mom lady in me, she almost says like, hey Carol, hey so and so, then goes straight to your desk. And so he did not think that was an issue because he was like, oh no, I'm ugly and I'm just me and I'm nice. But I was like, yeah, you're nice, but she's coming down here for a reason, hanging out. I'll walk by the copier, but like, oh hey so and so, go talk to somebody else, come back, she's still there talking. I'm thinking, okay, she's trying to get an opening or whatever a man would call it, and so that's what I'm getting.
An opening. That's an opening. An opening is what you look for in a zone defense. An opening is what we look for in a zone defense when we're trying to get 13. When we're trying to get 13 yards on 3rd and 12. Well, I'm looking for an opening on 3rd and 12. I'm not looking for an opening.
But it goes back to the point. It goes back to the point of women know what they're doing, and other women can spot it sometimes. And so even though I had not met this coworker's fiance at the time, I met her later. With this coworker and this young woman, I think that they both knew what was going on, but like he was either he was aloof, oblivious, he was self-deprecating. Hopefully I'm using that in the right context. This guy did not see what his work sister and his work mom were trying to tell him. And like, you've met this work mom before years ago at a baby shower for Aaliyah, and so if you see her, I'm sure you'll be like, oh yeah, I remember you. But he didn't see it. And so like, when men are being told like, look, so and so, she's trying to get at you or whatever you want to say, why do men feel like what a woman who's looking out for them is saying is wrong, or like, oh, you're exaggerating, oh, it's not true?
First of all, the man has no reason to believe you because y'all are his co-workers. He could think y'all just fucking playing games with him just to get a laugh because y'all are his co-workers. First of all, second of all, he already mentioned that he was a bit insecure, and so that being said, that reinforces my first point that he could have thought y'all were just fucking with him to get a laugh. That's the first part.
How would we be messing with him?
Again, Carol, accountability. It's just because you don't think it's a problem doesn't mean it wouldn't have been a problem for him. So that's what I'm trying to say. That's the first thing that could have been happening, is he thought y'all were just fucking with him so that he would go play himself and then everybody would laugh. That's the first part. Yeah, women don't get rejected. So like, that's the thing. You don't ever have to ever think about that feeling of going out there and being nervous and going approaching somebody and talking to them just to get rejected.
I had thought about that from a man's point of view, and I do think that's a lot of pressure.
So that's the first part. The second part, maybe he really doesn't believe y'all. Maybe he doesn't believe y'all. Maybe he's actually talked to the woman before and is just playing with y'all and not telling y'all what he really knows. Maybe he really did talk to the woman before and knows it not going nowhere. That's number two. Maybe it's actually that quote-unquote platonic thing, and it's a actual work thing they had to do, which is probably not true, because if that was the case, everybody would have known that.
That work thing was over because we were all in it together.
So there you go. So again, I don't know what you're actually asking me for per se, outside of just trying to justify your experience in this particular scenario.
And you gave me a point of view.
In this particular scenario, it sounds a lot more like, why would he not listen to me when I told him what was going on? And that's like a lot more self-centered than what the actual subject is, which is on that dude.
We were looking out for his fiance, who has no idea that. I mean not say that. I have no idea what they talk about at their house, but from a woman's point of view, his, I guess, work mom, even though we didn't call each other work mom, but this coworker friend of ours, who's a bit older than us, and I could clearly see what the other woman was trying to do. And so maybe she had strictly friendship mentality, who knows? But I just wanted to get your point of view, because that kind of stuff does happen at work. We're like, oh yeah, so and so was cute, he's engaged, I don't care, I don't see wedding ring on, he ain't married yet. And we're like, look back up. And so I even told her one day, I was like, look, leave him alone, he's engaged, stop coming to, which I probably is doing too much to be telling some woman to stop talking to someone because we're looking out for him. Was that doing too much, you think?
No. I don't think whether I think it's doing too much is relevant. Because number one, it happened in the past. So number two, I don't think whether or not I think it's doing too much is relevant in this conversation.
That I don't repeat the same possible bad judgment call. So I can learn from my mistakes. Or maybe I was being too overly protective of his fiance, who I hadn't met at the time, but met her later. So, I never had a work husband because that stuff is annoying to me. I think it's inappropriate. I do.
Okay.
So we talked about being friends before marriage. And sometimes you can be friends. Sometimes you can be on a dating app and it may work. But for you and I, being friends first definitely helped us to get through some tough times.
That's true.
But did you ever think that if we were not friends, we would have been done? Because I wanted to give up because I was scared of failure. And so I thought that if we have a disagreement, that the marriage is over, it's doomed, I failed. But then you, of course, were more rational than me, and you still are in many regards. But what were some of the reasons that like you did not want to give up when there was a problem?
Because I understand that things are a marathon and not a sprint. It's not one of those things where I don't run from my problems either. I kind of run towards my problems and face them head on. That's just me personally. I don't know how I feel specifically about saying whether or not being friends before we were married would have made a difference. I think that's more as far as how the decisions I make and the way I act towards things personally. I think that just has a lot more to do with my specific personality. I'm just not the type of person to act very rashly and I just don't react emotionally often. I mean, a lot of times I've been told that I'm dead inside. I've been told that before because I had gone years and years and years just not doing stuff for me, doing everything for everyone else, and going through a lot of stuff with my close personal family and friends and things of that nature, to where I had to just grow up and be tough at an early age. I had to be. I learned very early on because I'm one of those people that I feel other people's feelings. I'm an empath, so I can be sensitive at times, and so I had to learn early on that you have to shut all that off, because there's no way to be successful as a man and continue to live inside of your emotions. You got to be pragmatic. You got to be logical at times, and so specifically, I would say that did it matter to me whether we were friends or not as far as the success or failure of our relationship? I can't say necessarily that it would or it wouldn't. However, I can say that it's definitely better that it is than it ain't.
I appreciate that. Love you, JB.
Love you too.
So do you have any parting words, my dear?
Nah.
My friend.
I think we pretty much summed it up. It's kind of important to make sure that you're friends with your spouse. It's not a life or death must have, but it is important. And it definitely is a good fallback for when things might not be as cordial as possible. At least you got somebody you can laugh and joke and hang out with.
Yeah, I love that about you. That I can laugh, I can attempt to sing, I can do my funny dances, and at times I'm being serious and y'all are looking like, is she serious? Is she joking? I'm like, yeah, I'm dancing hard, I'm loving it. But I'm really glad that I'm able to be myself, laugh, cackle, and just have fun with you, because we are friends.
Yeah.
So this has been a great episode. I like this episode. So on that note, Thank you for joining The Linguistic Show. Check us out on Anchor, Spotify, Stitcher. That was 4. That was even 3. How you gonna go 1, 2, and like 5?
Because I felt like it. Because they get extra bings.
You're being extra. I love it. I'm glad that you can ring my bell. Thanks for.
All right, I'm gonna head out.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Friends, how many of us have them? Friends, before we go any further, let's be friends. The word we use every day.
If you enjoyed this, like, comment,
Subscribe and share to The
Linguistic Show.
This has been an Ashangali Enterprises production.
Co-produced by Naomi. Music by Brassville.